This is Hot Mic with Tom Izzo, presented by Northwestern Mutual.
All right, second hour ready to rock and roll here on a Monday morning. We'll check in with Tom Miller from the Grand Forks Herald about a half hour to get us updated on everything UND football. They have their first game coming up Thursday with the Sharks of Long Island. We'll check in on that coming up in just a little bit. So as we were wrapping up the first hour there, discussing the different bowl scenarios surrounding NDSU, and we'll get back to that in just a little bit because I think it's an interesting topic considering now the goals are different. We knew full well, I'd put out the bracketology part and see where it's going to look like. That all is now different. And your new bedfellows here of who you need to cheer for are different as well. I'll explain that coming up later on in the show. But as we get ready for game number 1 on Saturday, offensive line has certainly been a hot topic here since the portal season ended. North Dakota State saw Bo Johnson, All-American, move on to Vanderbilt. Saw their All-American center, Trent Fraley, move on to Michigan State. So there was work to do for Tim Polisic. Added Kenna Anene in the transfer portal out of University of Kansas. Likely he's going to be the starting right tackle for the Bison when they take the field Saturday afternoon. Looks like Josh Mangan is going to be the starting right guard with Nate Tosted's injury that is going to keep him out for a bit with an MCL injury. Looks like that Mangan's going to be the guy at right guard. Gage Schmidt is an amazing story. I profiled it yesterday at Inforum.com. I believe we talked to him during spring football that he will be a former walk-on, was put on scholarship in the spring, is going to be the starting center. The way he's performed has been really impressive throughout fall camp, and allowed to put Griffin Empey at left guard because there was the talk of maybe Empey might be the starting center, that they're going to have Empey at left guard. And then Ryan Babbitts is the freak show, the unicorn at left tackle who played as a true freshman last year, now is held on that job. But the intriguing part to me was, okay, who's 6, 7, and 8? Because last year the Bison were playing a lot of guys, still looking for some continuity. I think those 5 are going to be the ones they trot out there, with Tosted probably at 6 when he gets healthy. Coy Okeson, young man from Minot, North Dakota, from Bishop Ryan High School, has had a tremendous camp. And after he was injured last year and maybe slowed down his progression, he really had a good camp, is in that mix. And so is Noah Stommes, who I remember when he committed, and his size alone was just gargantuan, tall-wise. Now he's added it this way in terms of weight production, that he now certainly looks the part and is in that conversation to be one of the top backups on the offensive line. I visited with Noah last week at Bison Fall Camp, get his thoughts on how important this was for him, now in his 3rd year in the program, of a chance to finally get out there and play.
Honestly, just the desire to improve fast, because we need it here on the offense. So I've been really trying to dig deep into the playbook and make sure that I know all the positions, and having that position flexibility will be a key for me, and also to our offense as well, that we have guys that can play multiple positions as well. So looking forward to that.
You came in with some offensive linemen that may have got a little more notoriety than you, but tell me about, okay, I'm going to not necessarily buy my time, but I'm going to work at it. I'm going to earn a spot on the field.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of prove I have earned it here, and I don't want to take that off any of the players that are improving here as well, but just kind of focusing on my path and what I need to do to earn a spot here is something I've been really working on since I've been here as a freshman. So
have you noticed like things slowing down, or what have you noticed personally? Like, all right, I know I'm getting it now.
Yeah, I would say that the offense is I've really been able to key in on the details and understand my assignment each play, and that just makes the game that much slower for me, which helps me to understand I need to be here at this point, and slowing the game down has been a big key for me.
I want to go back to even spring ball. Was that no one who had left saying in your own mind, okay, if there's going to be any opportunity, I got to take advantage of it now?
Yeah, just that urgency, that we talk about. I gotta go right now, because you never know. Like one guy might go down, so you might be the next man up. So you just always got to stay ready and be ready for the next man up mentality.
I'm sure you've got this question a bunch, but did you sprout, or was it steadily grow for your height over when you were growing up?
I did kind of sprout. I would say kind of in 8th grade. That 7th to 8th grade range. I think I grew, probably about 8 inches, 10 inches just in 1 year. So it was big for me, kind of adapting to my new body and making sure that I can, be comfortable in my new body. And it's still a work in progress, but yeah.
I'm assuming people all around Watkins, Minnesota were thinking slam dunk, you're play basketball. Forgive the pun. And why football? Why was that the decision instead of basketball?
Yeah, football definitely was going to give me the best opportunity and to go to the highest level. So I think basketball would have been fun, but football is where my heart lays now. So I'm excited to play football here.
I remember Noah, Coach Entz talking to me like, hey, this is a guy we think is a steal that we got on late that's going to come here. What do you remember about the recruiting process to say, okay, NDSU is where I want to go?
Yeah, NDSU, as soon as I got here, as soon as I got, that preferred walk-on here, I knew I kind of wanted to most likely come here. I still wanted to wait to see what else I could get, but as soon as I got that offer, I was like, man, it'd be super cool to play football here, especially having, my cousin playing basketball here and another cousin also playing football with the Strites. So
I was going to ask you about them. They're obviously well known and got a chance, both of them, to play athletics here. How tight are your two families?
We're very tight. My mom was a Strite, so their dad and my mom were siblings growing up. So whenever we get a chance, we see each other. We both grew up as farming families, so we can connect a lot there. And they've always been role models to me, being older than me. So it's great having them around as well.
All right, we're in the dog days of camp here. We're 2 weeks out from the opener. Your own mindset, how has fall camp gone? And it's okay. I want to be in that 2 deep or get a mention that I have a chance to play in that opener against Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I'd say it's been pretty exciting just to kind of try to earn my role. And whether that's, starting on the offensive line or just understanding my ability, if I come in as a 6 extra offensive lineman once in a while on the field, then I have full trust in these coaches that they're going to put me in the best position possible on the field and put our team in the best position as possible as well. So I have full trust in them, and I'm looking forward to the first game is with Jacksonville State for sure.
6'6", probably 6'7", 300 pounds right now is what Noah Stommes' official height and weight coming in. Mentioned cousins with the Strites. So obviously you know that Josh played basketball for Dave Richmond for 3 years before he transferred and finished his career at Omaha. Jacob started his career at Northern State, then transferred up here and played, I want to say 2 years for the Bison in 22 and 23, if I remember correctly. Noah is one of 11 kids, has 5 brothers, 5 sisters, really big family there, and could sense he was pretty excited about the opportunity that he's in the conversation there with that top group of offensive linemen that are right now getting consideration to play. You mentioned those guys there, and there's a few others. Jack Lewinsky's name is there. Nate Schneckloth's name is in the mix as well about, all right, where are they going to see themselves on the football field, potentially trying to break through. That's the hardest group. Honestly, if you got to be really bleeping good to play offensive line in NDSU. Just goes without saying. Look at the track record of guys that are playing in the National Football League right now and the ones they produced over the last 15 years. Just even ones that may not have been on our radar. Some were like no-brainer, like Billy Turner, like Kolpak mentioned. Dylan Radins, when he got here, like, yeah, that guy seems like he's a next-level kind of prospect. Ryan Babbitts fits that mode now to me once we saw him in the flesh last year in fall camp. But there is a stretch, though, as well, where the Bison missed, and I know McFeely and I have talked about this over the last couple of seasons as well, where they had a stretch from 21 to 23 where they got nothing recruiting-wise out of offensive line. Nothing. And that you can't, it's like quarterback. You cannot miss at QB. If you do, then you're going to take a step back. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And there's a 3-year stretch there where you look at the offensive line recruits that came in that either transferred, went to a lower school, either just didn't play anymore. That's a tough beat. You can't have that stretch. Now, Stommes is part of that class in 2024. They were really excited. Nate Tostin's part of that group that they were super excited about. Coy Okerson's part of that group that they were really excited about in North Dakota that they were able to get in. I mean, Empey's a former walk-on. Not that they didn't think highly of him, but Empey was a walk-on. Same with Stommes. Same with Gage Schmidt. Anene's a transfer. So if you're looking at the makeup, Babbitt certainly isn't. Babbitt is a high-profile recruit. Jack Lewinsky was a high-profile recruit when they got him out of Minnetonka, who started a couple games in 2024 and now has seen his progression to the field, maybe block, maybe center is the spot that his best destiny lies at there. But it just goes to show that you cannot have a stretch. You could have one class maybe, but beyond that, 2 or 3, you can't have no production out of those classes. Granted, that's pretty much for any spot, but certainly offensive line at a school like here, because then when you lose 2 guys, I mean, Fraley I know was a transfer. Bo Johnson was a highly touted guy. Bo they got out of the 23 class, right, that played here basically for 2 years. He was a backup in 24, and his first year as the starting left tackle was last year. And that might become more the norm than anything, but that's part of the production I'm talking about. They hit on one. They got Bo. And now he's playing elsewhere for 2 more years. That's the real underside of that, right? If you miss, it's going to be awfully hard, especially now at this level. Recruiting has to be something where we gotta, and Politics talked to me about it, and he said it on this show. Like, we're the 3-year plan, like where you're hoping for, that's done. We got to know probably 2. We got to move on. He said, I think last week when I played it, it's like guys know what they want. Well, we know what we want. That's what he's saying. Like, we have to figure out if you can play or not. If not, and we played the soundbite last night on the preview show. Like, if the freshman is better than the backup, then we got to find a way to make the freshman the backup. That's what he told me. And that's now with this new 5-for-5 eligibility deal, that's something to watch. There's no more red shirting. So if you see some guys dressed and they're out there playing, it's because they believe they can help them. And that's the really interesting part on this going forward. Something to keep your eyes on for the opener. I'm really interested to see what that, as the game progresses, because there would be series last year where the 5 would go out there, and then maybe 2 series down the road, okay, Magan moved, then Babbitt's is in, Bo moves. Like, they were constantly tinkering. I don't think you're going to see that. Like, the 5 that are going to go out there are going to be the 5 they're going to play, barring injury. Or the game gets out of hand. I would imagine that's going to be the case. Tim Polisic press conference will be tomorrow, 1:30. You'll stream it on Inforum.com, WDAY+. I'm sure that will be a hot topic tomorrow. All right, we'll break. We got a few emails to get in, some on the Twins and the Vikings. We'll chat some bowl stuff as well. And about TV, because I got plenty of responses to that segment we did last night. Hot mic back after this.